What's up Trophy Hunter, Resident Evil 4 is around the corner and in this video we're gonna go through all main Resident Evil games and looking for the rarest trophy. If you enjoy this kind of videos, leave a like and probably I can do this also for other video game series. Before we start, you need to know there are currently 19 Resident Evil games with trophy support. In this video I will just focus on the main games. I will ignore the online titles and some spin-offs like Resident Evil Resistance, Umbrella Corps, etc. And by the way, this video will also show you how to play the Resident Evil games in chronological order. The first game is of course Resident Evil 0. It takes place just before the events of Resident Evil. In this game you can play with the medic Rebecca Chambers and the marine Billy Cohn. The game requires multiple playthroughs to unlock all the trophies. For example, you need to complete the game without saving, you need to complete the game without using any health supplements, and you also need to complete the game on hard difficulty. But what is the rarest trophy now? It is called I Could Shoot You Know. Obtain all weapons in the game. The reason why is probably because you need to complete the Leech Hunter mode and earn all of its 100 Leech Charms, which will unlock the Magnum. This is pretty tough because you need a really good strategy. And the second thing why this trophy is so rare is because you need to complete the main game with an S ranking to unlock the rocket launcher. To get an S rank you need to finish the game in normal or hard difficulty under 3 hours and 30 minutes. Next one is of course Resident Evil 1, the remake, which picks up right after Resident Evil 0. You play as one of two STARS agents, Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine. While it would be possible to unlock all the trophies within 3 playthroughs, but you will definitely end up with 5 to 6 playthroughs. For example, one trophy requires to complete the game just with the knife, but fortunately this can be done on very easy. And like in most Resident Evil games, you also need to complete the game in a certain time. This time you need to complete the game in less than 3 hours. The rarest trophy in this game is Ghost of a Chance. You need to finish the game in invisible enemy mode. So you need a very good knowledge of the enemy locations. The enemies get visible for a short time if you hit them or they attack you. But the best strategy to get through this mode is just run. Next one is Resident Evil 2 Remake, in my opinion one of the best remakes ever made. The game takes place 2 months after Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1. The game introduces 2 new protagonists, the rookie cop Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield. Like all the Resident Evil games, this one requires multiple playthroughs to unlock all the trophies. This game is kinda tough, but you can reduce the difficulty if you buy the DLC, which comes with infinite ammo. The game has 2 DLCs with trophies. The first DLC, called The Ghost Survivors, comes with 2 trophies and one was very tricky, the trophy Hell of a Sheriff. You need to complete the No Way Out scenario, which was really not easy, but the rarest trophy in the game is in the main game. The trophy is called Minimalist. You need to clear the game without opening the item box, which is a bit of a surprise because there's also a trophy for completing the game without using a recovery item. But I think the reason why this is the rarest trophy is because you basically cannot pick up the infinite ammo. And what comes after the Resident Evil 2 remake? Yes, Resident Evil 3 remake. I personally was a bit disappointed in this one, but it's not a bad game. The first part of Resident Evil 3 takes place before the events of Resident Evil 2 and the second part takes place after. The main character in this game is Jill Valentine. This is one of the easiest Resident Evil games because after completing the game once you unlock the in-game shop. The in-game shop allows you to buy the infinite rocket launcher, infinite ammo and a few more things. So after completing the game once you just have to farm some points to buy some items in the in-game shop. One trophy requires to complete the game on the hardest difficulty, which is Inferno, but with all the bonus items unlocked it's a walk in the park. So the rarest trophy in Resident Evil 3 is called Jill Valentine. You need to complete the game with an S rank on Inferno. To get an S rank you need to complete the game in less than 2 hours and you cannot save more than 5 times. But like I said before, with the infinite rocket launcher this is a walk in the park. If we follow now the chronological order we have to play Resident Evil Code Veronica. The game advances the timeline by a couple of months and sees Claire Redfield continue to search for her brother Chris. So in this game your main character is Claire Redfield, but it's also possible to play with Chris Redfield. The game is available on PS3 and PS4. On the PS3 version the game has no platinum, so we take a look at the PS4 version, which comes with a platinum. This is a pretty tough one, but it's possible to get all the trophies and achievements in a single playthrough. The first step is you need to beat the story while getting all the missable trophies. But the real challenge is beat the battle mode while getting rank A with all the characters. You need to know if you play the Europe version, it's almost impossible to beat the battle mode. The Europe and the American version share one trophy list. The problem is the European version of Resident Evil Code Veronica X is running slower than the American version. And this is the reason why it's a lot harder to get in rank A in battle mode. And believe me, this is a very big issue because I played both versions. And for me it was impossible to complete the European version, so I had to switch to the American version. So if you want the platinum in this game, I highly recommend buy the American version. So as you may already expect, that the rarest trophy in the game is called Battle Master. You need to get the linear launcher from Battle Game. And you can only unlock this weapon by getting rank A with all characters in battle mode. The next game is Resident Evil 4. The remake isn't available yet, so we have to go back to the PS4 version. In Resident Evil 4 you play as Leon Kennedy 6 years after his time in Raccoon City during Resident Evil 2. The game is available on PS3 and PS4 and both versions have a separate trophy list, but the trophies are the same. The trophies were a disappointment, because they thought it's a good idea to release the game without the platinum trophy. The game has only 12 trophies and there is no platinum. Most of the trophies are story related. To get all the trophies in the game you have to play through the game 2 times, because it's necessary to complete the game on professional difficulty. The professional difficulty is the hardest difficulty and unlocks after completing the game once. And yes, this is also the rarest trophy in the game in both versions. The trophy is called a Heart of Steel, clear the game on the highest difficulty, which is professional. In case you missed it, the remake has a platinum trophy. And it seems the trophies are a lot more challenging than the PS4 and the PS3 version of the game. So guys, the next game on my list is
Resident Evil Revelations.
The game is set between the events of Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5. Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield are now BSAA agents, with Jill serving as the game's primary protagonist. The game is available on PS3 and PS4 and the trophies are a bit different. But for this video we will take the newest version, which is of course the PS4 version. Well, the first thing is you need to complete the campaign mode. It's possible to get all the trophies in a single playthrough, but this is not really recommended. Because you need to complete the game on Infernal difficulty. And it's definitely easier to beat the game in New Game Plus. And the next step is you need to play a lot of raid mode. To make things as easy as possible, it's highly recommended to play raid mode online. But the game is very old, so the player base is very low. You definitely will spend most of your time in raid mode. And this already brings me to the rarest trophy. The rarest trophy in the game can be unlocked in raid mode and is called Full Speed A Dead. You need to complete the ghost ship on Chaos difficulty. This is the ultimate test of your Resident Evil skills. Well, there are a few people out there who did this solo, which is almost impossible. If you're going for this trophy, it's highly recommended getting an online co-op buddy. Next one is Resident Evil 5 and is set 5 years after Resident Evil 4. In this one you play as Chris Redfield, who has since taken some steroids, and Sheva Alomar. The game is available on PS3 and PS4, but we will focus on the PS4 version, which also includes all the DLCs. Well, the base game is basically pretty easy, but there are also some DLCs which are very difficult. The most annoying DLC is the Versus, because you have to play against other real players. But we will ignore the DLCs and we will just focus on the main game. So what is the rarest trophy in the main game? It's possible to unlock all the trophies in 2 playthroughs, but 3 playthroughs are recommended. One trophy requires to complete the game on professional difficulty, but this is not the rarest trophy, because it's possible to rush through professional difficulty with infinite ammo. However, the rarest trophy in the game is their action figures. Collect all the figurines. To get all the figurines you need to buy them, but before you can buy them you need to unlock them. To unlock all of them you need to complete all the chapters, you need to find all the collectibles, and you need to achieve an S rank in all chapters. But no worries, because the S rank is easier than it sounds, because it can be done on easy difficulty. To achieve an S rank you need a high accuracy, you need to kill a lot of enemies, do not die, and you need to complete the chapter in a specific time. In case you struggle, you can play the game offline co-op and online co-op, which will make it a lot easier. The next game is Resident Evil Revelations 2 and is set between Resident Evil 5 and 6. It brings Claire Redfield back for the first time since Code Veronica, and this time it's also possible to play with
Barry Burton,
which was one of my favorite characters for a long time. Revelations 2 is available on PS3, PS4 and PlayStation Vita. So the game has 3 separate trophy lists, but the trophies are all the same. This one is definitely one of the most difficult Resident Evil games. You need at least 3 playthroughs to get the platinum. 1 normal playthrough, 1 playthrough in countdown mode. Countdown mode is basically a speedrun mode. You start each chapter with 3 minutes, but you can earn extra time by killing enemies. You earn up to 20 seconds per enemy. And the 3rd playthrough must be done in invisible mode. And believe me, invisible mode is a lot harder than countdown mode. So the rarest trophies in the games are the invisible mode trophies. They are all ultra rare, but the most rarest trophy is There's Something in Here, clear episode 4 in invisible mode. I personally was able to unlock the trophy. If you have the trophy too, let me know it in the comment section below. The next one is less horror, more action, Resident Evil 6. The game comes with 4 campaigns where you can play as Leon Kennedy, Chris Redfield, Jake Miller and Ada Wong. For me, this game was a big disappointment, to be honest. Too much action and way too much quicktime events. I mean, come on, who goes through the door like this? The game is available on PS3 and PS4, has 2 separate trophy lists, but the trophies are identical. The platinum is relatively easy, just time consuming. The game comes with 4 DLCs and most of them are online trophies. But for this we will ignore the DLC trophies and we will just focus on the main game trophies. To get the platinum in this game you need to complete all the campaigns on professional difficulty. But professional is a joke with the right skills equipped. So surprisingly this is not the rarest trophy. The rarest trophy in the game is called Mad Skills. You need to max out all the skills that allow you to level up. So this time the rarest trophy is not a difficulty one, it is basically just a huge grind. After the disappointing 5th and 6th game, Capcom is finally listening. Resident Evil 7 introduces a new character called Ethan Winters and switches the long-running perspective from 3rd person to 1st person. At the beginning I was skeptical, but Capcom delivered. Resident Evil 7 was or is a very good looking intense horror game. The game is available on PS4 and PS5 and yes, they have a separate trophy list. It's possible to auto-pop a few trophies on PS5, so for this video we will check the PS4 version. The game requires 3 playthroughs, a normal playthrough, a speedrun playthrough where you need to complete the game in less than 4 hours, and you need to complete the game on Madhouse difficulty, which is a bit of a challenge. The game also has 4 DLCs and some DLC trophies are a lot harder than the main game, but of course we will just focus on the main game. The trophy completion rate on this game is very high. However, the rarest trophy in the main game is Resource Manager. You need to complete the game without opening the item box more than 3 times. The most important point about this trophy is that the game forces you to use the item box 3 times. This means you are not allowed to use it at all apart from those occasions. But the most difficult trophy including the DLC is Ethan Never Dies. You need to complete Ethan Must Die. This trophy alone took me several hours because you need a lot of skill and a lot of luck with the random stuff in the item boxes. And last but not least, Resident Evil 8 aka Village. It is a continuation of Ethan Winters' story set 3 years after the events of Resident Evil 7. The game is available on PS4 and PS5 and it's possible to auto-pop some trophies from PS5 to PS4 and from PS4 to PS5. The game already got a DLC called Winter's Expansion, but of course we will just focus on the main game. At the beginning you could only play the game in first person, but now it's also possible to play through the entire game in third person. Like in most Resident Evil games, the game requires several playthroughs to get all the trophies. This time you need to complete the game with knife only. There's also a speedrun trophy, you need to complete the game in less than 3 hours. And you need to complete the game on the hardest difficulty, which is Village of Shadows. But basically to play through the game on the hardest difficulty is relatively easy if you use the advantage of infinite ammo. After completing the game you will unlock the bonus content, the Mercenaries. And this brings me already to the rarest trophy in the game. Legendary Cowboy, achieve at least an S rank on all stages in the Mercenaries. So guys, these are all the rarest trophies in the Resident Evil main games. If we take a look at the completion rate, the rarest trophy in this video is in Resident Evil Revelations 2. There's something in here, clear episode 4 in invisible mode. So now what about you? Did you already have unlocked all these trophies? Let me know it in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this kind of content. If yes, feel free to leave a like or let me know it in the comment section below. Thanks for the attention. See you in Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Okay, I have only one very important question. You got a smoke?
Got gum.